It'll take just a second. What we found at the case study level, too, is that a lot of the abuse and torture and things like that never gets reported to the states. So that's just another point that even if the states aren't reporting it, they're not getting it from the programs. A lot of the programs we looked at were cited for not reporting abuse, and most abuse maybe never gets reported in the first place.
Mr. McKeon will now be recognized for 15 minutes, and thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for yielding. I want to begin by thanking all the witnesses for their testimony here today. I strongly believe that the instances of neglect, abuse, and death at these facilities that we've been talking about over the last few months are totally unacceptable and must be stopped. That goes without, probably should go without even need to being said. I still don't feel, though, that the committee has a full grasp on the extent of the problem or possible solutions. As you just said, a lot of these things are not even reported. So I'm glad this hearing has been convened today to learn more about these facilities and give members an opportunity to ask questions about them. Mr. Cooch, you talked about 8 instances of death. Has there been any prosecution on those deaths that you're aware of?
Yes, there was one case of a criminal conviction for third-degree assault and false imprisonment, and that person served 1 month. There was also a plea, but there was no time served. On all the other ones, there were no criminal prosecutions or charges.
So murder is okay now? I mean, how, listening to just what you said about it, I can't even understand how we don't have 8 people in jail for murder in those instances. How do you possibly not have?
I agree with you. It's very difficult to look at this and wonder why there's not more criminal aggressive effort in this particular case. There was a lot of civil activity, lots of civil settlements, but that doesn't fix the problem with the people who were doing the abuse. And the real issue, I think we talked about your last hearing, these people are moving around, so who knows what program they've moved to next. And
but you have a
there's
death.
No trail then.
I mean, you know of a death.
Yes.
The police don't find out about it, or they just shrug it off and write traffic tickets, or what? You know, I mean, I just don't even understand this.
It may be that it's difficult to prove in a court of law. I mean, I can't really explain
to prove
it fully.
How the death occurred, or that there was a death. I mean,
there was clearly a death, and there was clearly abuse in some of the cases we looked at, and why there was no more criminal on that, I just can't explain it for you fully.
I just don't understand that. I have some questions I would like to direct at all the witnesses. Can you tell me how many private residential treatment programs or boot camps there are nationwide? I guess that's no.
I think it's safe to say the answer from our perspective is no, we don't know.
And so if we don't know how many there are, we probably would not have numbers to break them down by state. How many different types of treatment programs?
The records show the answer appears to be no again. Silence is helpful.
The answer is no.
Yeah, thank you.
How many different types of treatment programs are there in the country?
I believe that would depend on what they call themselves. That goes from anywhere from emotional growth, residential treatment, wilderness. I mean, there's so many different names that it's almost impossible to tell, because if we listed 20 names right now, there would be 21 tomorrow.